Hi everyone. I'm just going to do, I promise, a quicker video than last time. So I'm just going to go over a couple of things that we're going to do this week and just one little thing about last week. So the answers to the questions were really good. One of the issues is about when to use indefinite article or to use it at all, indeed. So there are various rules about it. And one of the biggest ones really is, can you count it? So you can count a teacher, it's a teacher, an engineer, a refugee. On first mention, and then you use the. For example, there's a place in Wexford. That place is called. Now this can be changed. So, but the biggest rule is the countable. So just try to remember that. Okay, I'm going to put this into WhatsApp, not into WhatsApp, into the email. Okay. The second thing then I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what we're going to do on Friday, but I do need cover letters from most of you and CVs from those that haven't sent it to me. Again, I'm sorry, I don't have a video today. I don't have my face in the video. I mean, it might be good, but it's harder to concentrate, I know. But anyway, so on Friday, a change of pace altogether, we're going to do a poem by one of our most famous poets, probably the most famous poet, really, unless you go way back. And it's Seamus Heaney, who died quite recently. He wrote a poem called Scaffolding, which you can Google and listen to him say the poem. It's lovely. And so he wrote a poem about masons and scaffolding, about planks and ladders, about bolted joints, about how scaffolding is made on a building, like so. And then it all comes down when the building is finished. So they're the masons at the building, building the scaffolding to support it. And then when things are sure, and when they're sure that the building will be perfect, they take away the scaffolding. And that he has made a metaphor between that and or he's made marriage really, or relationships, a metaphor for scaffolding. How buildings, when they're starting, they need the support of the scaffolding, and they need the masons to make it strong and sure, make sure things are tight enough. The planks across the building are secure, and but then when that's finished, they take away the scaffolding, and you're left with a strong building. So while things might go wrong, and they do in relationships, for example, old bridges breaking down between you and me, never fear, we may let the scaffolds fall, confident that we have built our wall. So basically, that the relationship will stay strong no matter whether you have arguments or not, because that's normal life. So the first question I'm going to ask you is to write a short summary. I'm going to send you something about Seamus Heaney. He was born in Northern Ireland in a minority religion, a Catholic religion, and where the British government had control from London, and where there was huge conflict between the Catholics and the Protestants, and that it resulted in 4,000 people dying, and well, actually more than 4,000, and they were called the Troubles. So he wrote about the Troubles, but he also wrote about his childhood. I highly recommend you look at a poem, if you like poetry, about his mother and himself peeling the potato on a Sunday before Mass. And generally speaking, he's a magnificent poet. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature. He also won the T.S. Eliot Prize for Poetry, a very prestigious prize. And generally speaking, the best we ever produced, in my opinion. So the meaning of the poem, I've just explained it really, is that while scaffolding is metaphorical, it describes how relationships are built and how strong they become, and that they can withstand any kind of conflict. Do you like the poem? That's your own. Why not? If you don't like it, or if you do like it, explain why. And old bridges breaking between you and me, I've explained as well, because things can go wrong. And why is the poem popular at weddings? Well, you can imagine, because it is about how relationships can stay strong through all conflicts without any scaffolding, without any support. Okay, so that's that one there. That's the reading. Now, the writing is going to be writing about famous Irish people, one of them being Michael D. Higgins. You have to write 10 sentences at least. So he is famous. He's our president. He is famous, but there's lots of other people, including this woman who was, her name is Countess Markievicz, Constance Markievicz, actually. She married a Polish count and they traveled all over the world. But she was an Irish revolutionary. She fought, she was Anglo Irish, so her upbringing was very different to the ordinary Irish person. But she became a revolutionary and she believed in Irish freedom. And she was elected to Westminster, to London, to the London Parliament, which was the main parliament at the time for all of us. And she refused to take her seat because it was not, Ireland wasn't free. But she also went around Ukraine for 2 years, and her husband was had an estate near this village. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of it. I think it's gone now, or very, very tiny. And she traveled around and she loved Ukraine. And so that's a picture of her in Ukraine, actually. So that's who I do, but that's just me. So you can do anyone you want, but you need 10 sentences. And that's it. I will see you on Friday, and hopefully this video is not too long for you. Okay, I will put all of this in the WhatsApp, and or not just the video in the WhatsApp, but I'll put all of the documents into the email. Take care. See you Friday.